for a better us.
The First Alert team, named best in Georgia. Live from Augusta, you're watching News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Thousands are bracing for impact before a major exit closure in Columbia County. We have live coverage continuing next on News 12 at 6 o'clock. But first tonight, Augusta University's basketball coach remembering one of his former players who died last week in Washington, D.C. 27-year-old Tyvez Monroe died the day after Christmas after police say he talked to a man at a Metro stop when the guy pulled out an AR-15 and shot him. Sydney Hood live in the newsroom for us. So, Sydney, we know this was a beloved standout player. How are they remembering him today?
Well, when you're talking about Tyvez, you're talking about a great shooter, rebounder, passer, and then someone with a lot of competitiveness. Those are all the traits he brought with him to the court. Head basketball coach Demetris calls him the complete player. To play on this court, you've got to be good. And every name on this wall proves that. But there is one name that takes good and then turns it into great.
He's on all four boards, and we don't have many guys who are on all four boards, because that means you got to be a shooter, a rebounder, a passer, and a scorer.
Even before Tyvez Monroe came to Augusta, Coach Demetris knew he was a slam dunk.
And I watched him, and I said, he's one competitive person. He's my type of guy, or we say our kind of guy.
He brought spirit to the court.
Crazy, man. I'm lost for words, honestly. It's like a dream come true.
That was Tyvez celebrating the Jaguars' ticket to the Sweet 16 in 2019, which would then be his last game ever.
We lost to Queens. I think Kevin was covering the game. His grandmother was at the game, and she turns to my wife and said, I guess I don't need the pom-pom anymore. Last game? Yeah, tough.
Memories now held tighter than ever.
He's the first player I've coached that died. He got murdered.
It's a somber sight seeing his name on the leadership board now.
He always wanted to be the best he could be.
Showing his legacy lives on.
The fact that he got a college degree, where he grew up, where he was raised, is phenomenal.
Coach Demetris says his dedication to his team was 120% every single day. He was always out on the court bettering himself or someone else.
Thanks for sharing a little bit more about him, Sydney. Our hearts are just with all of his former teammates and his family. To weather now, Riley says we can expect a hard freeze.
10 minutes.
All right, thanks, Riley. Another high-speed chase with Georgia State Patrol ends with more damage to our News 12 property. It happened so fast on camera, but this car flew over the I-20 ramp up the hill, colliding with our fence. The chase started on Washington Road back on Christmas Eve. Even after this chase, cops failed to catch the driver, but 3 other passengers were arrested. An investigation showed the suspects had 4 guns, one of them stolen, along with scales and a pound of marijuana, according to law enforcement. And it really sounds like deja vu because early in December, a state patrol car slammed into our News 12 sign and it burst into flames. This chase also started on Washington Road. It was heading down Alexander Drive to Cabela Drive. The driver also was not caught, and the state trooper was not seriously injured, thankfully. But I'm going to show you a live look now over at exit 190. This is Horizon South Parkway in Grovetown. In 2 weeks, all this busy traffic backup you see heading up and down the ramps will be cut off for 90 hours. Thousands of drivers will have to detour. They'll have to find another way home or to work while they change this driving pattern. This is what they've been working towards for years. Our Hallie Turner is live with what you can expect.
Well, Laura, the saying goes, diamonds are a girl's best friend, but pretty soon, for about 50,000 drivers a day, there's going to be a new type of diamond that could be their best friend.
Orange barrels here, orange barrels there, and all of this road work creating confusion everywhere.
They're always changing. They're always like changing the lane, or they want to do some this lane, they're changing that lane, and it could be confusing.
Harner Cartret, along with thousands of other people, travel Lewiston Road multiple times a day.
In the morning times, I'm going to work, 4 a.m. It really isn't that bad in the morning because there's no one on the roads. But in the evenings, coming back from work, I come back around 5, and it can get pretty bad, pretty backed up on the interstate.
The leaders say the headache will soon be gone.
Yeah, the diverging diamond across I-20 is going to be tremendous. I know a lot of folks are intimidated by it.
or the thought of working through it, but they're designed with the driver's comfort in mind.
Before the project can wrap up in July of 2024, another closure is on the way.
From noon on January 18th through 6 a.m. on January 22nd begins the 90-hour shutdown. This means for these 4 days, the following routes will be closed. Both on and off ramps for exit 190 eastbound and westbound, exit 190 interchange, exit I-20 overpass, and Horizon South Parkway between I-20 East Ramp and Gateway Boulevard will be closed. But the good news is Columbia County engineers say Columbia Road westbound and Wrightsboro Road eastbound are two good alternate routes to take.
Our big thing is if you can, do your best to avoid this interchange at all costs during the closure.
Now, Kyle tells me that they've been working really hard and closely with emergency personnel to make sure that if there is something that goes wrong on site, that those EMS workers can get on here to get that handled right away. But the most important thing you should know is to pay attention to this change, prepare, share the word, and get ready for what's to come.
Yeah, not a bad idea to go ahead and look online to see how that traffic pattern works. We have it on our website for you at wrdw.com. And another heads up regarding this project, we want to tell you about next Monday, Lewiston Road from Columbia to William Few Parkway. That will be closed from 9 in the morning to 3. That closure will also happen again on February 1st because crews will be paving in that area. Leaders say plan to take another route, prepare for delays. So that whole area really is going to be a little bit of a mess. So maybe take the long way for a while. Long-standing construction means no customers for One Man's Business on 13th Street. One phase of the downtown Augusta revitalization project has that part of the road shut down. Right in the middle of the traffic mess is Andy Jordan's bicycle warehouse. They say this delayed project is hurting the decades-old family business. Our Nick Veland joins us live. So, Nick, that's really shut down a pretty busy thoroughfare right there on 13th. What is the delay?
Yeah, well, construction concerns are a major deal, and there is no traffic behind me. You can see nothing is going on. You can kind of look a little bit further up on Walton Way. Traffic is moving over here on Telfair Street, across where the road is closed. Traffic's flowing over there, and that's leaving this bike shop just wondering when this project is going to end. On the inside, it's business as usual. But on the outside, 13th Street gets more dust daily. Traffic is little to none, and a business struggling with less traffic now too.
It's gotta hurry up and get done. I mean, it's affecting my business. I've got staff that is counting on us.
Andy Jordan's Bicycle Warehouse is a family business going 50 years strong at their location on 13th Street. GDOT says that last year, 13,500 cars traveled this road daily. In August, Drew Jordan was given 24 hours notice that his business was going to be the border of a construction closure.
So I didn't really have any way of preparing for it or just letting my customers even know what was going on.
He scrambled, making signs, trying to get people to know that they're still open and accessible. But it isn't the same.
Those people that I just happened to be driving by and noticed your shop, it's like, that's not really happening anymore.
The project was supposed to be wrapped up by the end of 2023. Now the city said that they're hoping to have it done by Masters Week. Every day that the project goes on, the less know about the Jordan family business.
1% of those people notice your building. That's still huge. Those little percentages are huge for a small business.
And the owner does understand the benefits of the end goal with this project, but there's still a lot of frustrations getting to that point, and he's just waiting for the customers to be able to have an easier way back to get to his business.
Certainly does not want to hear about any more delays. We understand the pain. Thanks for that, Nick. Augusta District Attorney Jared Williams could be appointed to prosecute Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones over the effort to overturn. It is included in that sweeping indictment against former President Donald Trump and some of his supporters. Last year, a judge disqualified Fulton County DA Fani Willis from prosecuting Jones due to a conflict of interest because she campaigned for Jones's Democratic opponent for Lieutenant Governor. The Prosecuting Attorneys Council of Georgia must come up with a replacement prosecutor. Williams shared with us today he is being considered for that role, so we will keep you posted. Several locals being recognized as some of the 100 most influential Georgians for 2024. Mayor Garnett Johnson named, along with 5 other mayors across the state. 5 other leaders across our area also being honored as notable. That's Thomas Clark, the executive director of the CSRA Alliance for Fort Eisenhower. J. Mark Walter, the executive director of the Georgia Association of Convention and Visitors Bureaus. Sue Parr, president and CEO of Augusta's Metro Chamber of Commerce. And Cal Ray, the president of Augusta's Economic Development Authority. Also, Ben Tarbaton, the third, who is president of Sandersville Railroad Company, made that list. So a lot of influential Georgians right here at home. So we want to say congrats to all of those. New year, new stores coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock. We take you to Aiken, where several new local businesses are getting ready to open the doors.
Cold tonight and dry tomorrow, but we are tracking rain showing up early Saturday morning. We'll have a look at the forecast just after the break.
Time and 4 on News 12.
Okay, drivers, a heads up for your commute tonight, right at the state line on I-20. The right lane will be closed. That'll be the westbound side from mile marker 1 to mile marker 200. This work ends tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., so just know that they're dropping that down to 1 lane, so it could be slow going tonight at the state line, Riley.
And it looks like those workers are definitely going to be very cold out there tonight working on I-20. We do have temps down to highs all the way through the weekend. We'll get a little bit warmer Tuesday as those storms do approach.
From rent prices to inflation, several local businesses in Aiken were forced to close last year. Now a small group of entrepreneurs are getting ready to open. Our Taylor Barton has your first look at these new shops.
From Cindy's Sweet Shop to Fuse Aiken, Aiken saw its fair share of businesses close in 2023. But there's an old saying that says as one door closes, another one opens. And with new businesses popping up all across Aiken, they're ready for your support. New restaurants, new clothing stores, and a new place to get your furry friend all nice and clean.
I'm sorry to see some of the businesses go, but I'm happy that we're being almost this rejuvenation of restaurants in different types.
Multiple different types of restaurants are coming to town. In just a few weeks, Asian cuisine will hit Lawrence Street at the Red Door. And on Saturday, everything from sandwiches to scallops at Salty Tomatoes.
My favorite thing is probably the smoked Gouda Grit Bowl, personally. And then lunchtime we have sandwiches, flatbreads, homemade soups, everything we make from scratch.
On the south side, a new approach to dog grooming will make its way to Aiken tomorrow. The owner calls it the Jiffy Lube of dog grooming.
Go over to Publix, do a little bit of shopping, come back 45 minutes later, your dog is ready to go home. And part of that process is us educating dog parents on the health of their dog, anything they may need to take and keep them healthy and keep them living longer.
And if you're looking for unique Aiken-themed gifts, you can stop by True Aiken downtown.
I would love for our business to be known as a place that you just must visit if you come to visit Aiken, or if you have friends and family coming to Aiken.
We'll have more information and their addresses on our website, wrdw.com. Reporting in Aiken, Taylor Martin on your side.
Excited to try some of those new spots out. Thanks, Taylor. The Westside boys basketball team is in search of their 3rd straight state title, and they are off to a hot start in the new year. Dan dives into all things Patriots basketball coming up in sports.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Automotive Group.
We are excited to announce that the Medicare Specialist is now 64 Insurance Group. And while we've expanded our portfolio to include other health insurance products, we are still your go-to for all things Medicare. Don't wait until you're 65 to call. Are64.com.
Your job.
Hey, Chip, what's the matter?
Man, this name change is stressing me out.
Everyone will know we still specialize in Medicare.
Yeah, I know that, but what about this?
Are you 64.com?
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
Now that football season is in the books, it's time to bounce our way over to basketball, where the Westside Patriots are eyeing their 3rd straight state championship, and they're already off to a hot start in the new year. The 11-3 Patriots are a little on the younger side this year, and as the season continues, they're working on filling the shoes of Kalon Hudson, Amari Tillman, and Jalix Ewing, who all graduated last year, played big roles in winning both of Westside State titles, and scored over 1,000 points while playing for the Patriots. Head coach Jerry Hunter told me that while the ingredients are a little different, the recipe is still the same.
It's a lot different because, we had guys last year who was older, seniors. This year we have a very young team, juniors, sophomores. Just me got to step up being a leader as a senior and lead the team.
We get better every single practice with our competition. Practice is the best. We play better at practice than we do in the games. When we get comfortable with playing like how we play at practice during the game, then the sky's the limit.
DeMarco Middleton is actually the only returning starter from last year's team. Westside's back in action over at Glen Hills tomorrow night.
After you retire, what do you hope to do in your free time? Some enjoy a walk in the park, others are picking up their pickleball racket. Our Will Volk introduces us to one man with a unique retirement hobby.
Dennis Bradish spends a lot of time with Ruth.
People love her. Who wouldn't? Just look at the curves on her. What a beautiful little cycle she is.
Ruth is Hebrew for friend. Bradish says it's a fitting name for his Honda Metropolitan. Using his Metropolitan, he explores the Augusta metropolitan area.
What I'll do is just go and explore and see whatever catches our attention. The whole goal is to capture Augusta.
Bradish rides with Ruth through neighborhoods all over. If something catches his eye, he stops to take a look.
You've got pockets of history throughout the area.
He's seen that firsthand over the last 2 years. Bradish says it all started in the Harrisburg neighborhood.
I wanted to know what this blank area over here is, that lot back there. That used to be a cemetery, but there's no headstones in it.
When he finds places like this, he's driven to learn more and share what he sees.
Yeah, that's a good picture.
Ruth is one camera-friendly scooter. Bradish takes pictures everywhere they go and puts them in a Facebook group he created. He says it's all about spreading positivity.
Every community may have its problems, but let's focus on something different. Let's focus on the good.
Bradish is doing that as he rides the Metropolitan.
See, Will.
In Augusta, Will Volk on your side.
Love that. And if you're interested in keeping up with Bradish's adventures with Ruth, he has a Facebook group called Dennis's Metropolitan. We have a link to it on our website. More News 12 coming right up.
Want to instantly... All right, another quick look at our 7-day forecast for tomorrow morning. It is going to be cold. We'll most likely wake up in the 20s around sunrise. We'll start to notice more clouds showing up by tomorrow afternoon. That will give way to rainfall through Saturday morning. Other than that, mostly dry through the weekend and then another stronger system by Tuesday.
That'll do it for us. We have more news and weather coming up tonight for you at 11.
At the CBS Evening News, we focus on solutions, finding solutions to help people understand what are the right choices to make for you and your family.
A series